Welcome to CapitalinsightBD and Kollol Learning Hub. I am Kollol Hossain. Thus today I will explore you the last week S&P 500 index movement and main highlights so that you can take data-driven decisions. So move forward. I humbly request you, those who have already subscribed my channel, thank you very much. And those who are not yet subscribed, I request you subscribe to the channel so that you can get latest update regarding S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100. So I start with the index. This is a very fantastic week. Closed by 18.28.12 points up. That means 0.36% over the last week. So this is the detailed breakdown. Last closing price as on August 7 was 7,757.64. And we see within the week there are up and down, and closing day weekend August 14 we see 13 point down, but overall cumulative gain this week is 28.12 points up. That is last week closing was 7,757.64 and today's closing is 7,785.76. So overall 0.36% up. So this is a fantastic week, undoubtedly. This is the graph we can see here. Out of 5 days, 3 days was red, but 2 days were green. Still, green is dominated this week, and at last, the week closed upper compared to the last week. So if we go to the sector, we can see here information technology is the hottest sector of this week. This sector up by 2.966% and followed by energy 2.74% up, utilities increased by 2.64%, communication services raised by 2.55%, then real estate 1.50%, financial 1.26% up, and industrials 0.75% raised. Now, this is the graph we can see here at a glance. And if we go to the loser section, flip of the coin, we see material sector led the declines this week with a 1.1556% loss. And next, consumer discretionary 0.45%, consumer staples 4.33% down, healthcare also down little bit. 0.01%. And this is you can see here, materials is the highest loser of this week. Now, what is the sector P ratio? Highest P ratio, as usual, information technology with 59.9 times, whereas financials with as low as 21.2 times. Average sector P 36.9 times. If we go to the details, we see here P ratio, information technology 59.85, then real estate 57.34 times, communication services 47.24 times, communication discretionary 41.33 times, and last of all, financial 21.21 times. So we can look at the top gainers of this week. SanDisk Corporation led the gainer this week with 32.57% increase. The information technology sector was most represented with 8 entries. Average gain among top performers was 16.96%. So we clearly see here SanDisk Corporation starting of the week price was 1,237.92 and closing is 1,641.44. Then semiconductor SNCI 26.64% up, STX 21.53% up, WDC increased by 16.07%, TER increased by 14.71%, UTE 13.84%, Micron 12.85% gain, MPC 10.96% gain, CN Corporation 10.59 up, KR 9.8% increase. So this is the graph we can see here at a glance. And what is the flip side of the coin? Top loser, MNST, that is led the losers with this 48.79% decline. This is the massive fall. The consumer discretionary sector was most represented by 3 entries. Average loss among top performer was 12.93%. Then next one, TPR 21.73%, Costco 8.88% down, Mosaic 7.93% down, IDXS has dropped 7.52%, AFRG 7.14% down, ABGO 6.96% minus, APP also dropped 6.95%, ULTA 6.91%, and LULU Lolo 6.46% down. So this is the graph, and we see MNST is the largest loser of this week. And what about P ratio? This week's P ratio analysis reveals contrasting market segments. High P stocks average 395.33 times are concentrated in technology, reflecting growth expectation and future earnings potential. Low P stocks average 6.67, dominate communication services, often indicating value opportunities or mature industries. Notably, INTC leads the high valuation group, while CSA offers the most conservative earnings multiple. This divergence highlights market segmentation between growth-oriented and value-focused. So Intel Corporation, we see here, P ratio 675.6 times, weekly close 102.50, and weekly change 4.32% up. ALB 464.5 times P ratio, and weekly close 136.15, that is 3.63% up. MCHP Technology Semiconductors sector 450.4 times, and closing price 79.17 and 7.46% minus. PLTR 460.2 times P ratio, and closing price 174.40, 1.73% up this week. DDoG Technology Software Application sector 404.8 times, closing price 255.46 and 10.33% up. Then Pesky Corporation 404.7 times, and closing price 10.14, 11.06% gain. Then CNN, Tesla, Power and Light all are dominating P ratio top tier. Now lowest P ratio, we Comcast Corporation, CMCSA, 4.7 times, weekly close 26.18, 4.05% weekly change up. CHTR telecommunication 5.5 times P ratio, closing price 154.27 and 2.34 percentage up this week. AMCR 5.7 times P ratio, 46.03 closing price and down by 2.87% this week. So in this list, MOST, EIX, HPQ, VZ, Horizon Corporation. So this is the graphical representation, and we want to go to the peak history top turnover leaders. Who are the leader of this week? Market liquidity source by exceptional level this week. Micron, MU dominated trading activity with 70,477.14 billion, closely followed by MU, Navida, SNDK as investor reposition portfolios. The technology sector commanded attention with 7 of the 10 positions, highlighting concentrated institutional interest in this market segment. Average turnover across leaders reached approximately 8.7 trillion, signaling intense capital rotation that often precedes volatility clusters. So Micron, we see here 17.47 trillion weekly turnover, then Nvidia 13.24 trillion, then SNDK 13.01 trillion. In the fourth position, INTC Intel Corporation 7.81 trillion. Apple also in this list 6.9 trillion, Tesla 6.3 trillion, AMD 5.87 trillion, Amazon 5.06 trillion, Meta also in this turnover list in this week 4.57 trillion. So this is the highlight. We can sum up here. S&P 500 weekly return 0.36% up this week. Opening 7,757.64, closing 7,785.76. Top gainer index 32.57%. Top loser MNST 48.79%. Massive fall. Best sector information technology 2.966% up. Core sector materials 1.1556% down. Highest sector information technology PE 59.9 times. Lowest sector PE financial 21.2 times. Average sector PE 36.9 times. Sector PE spread 38.7 times. Top turnover MU 17.47 trillion, combined turnover top 87.6 trillion. Highest stock P ratio INTC 675.6 times, lowest P stock CMCS 4.7 times. So what is the investor takeaway? Selective allocation in consolidating markets, focus on sector rotation opportunities, consider trimming, extended positioning, and adding to laggard showing signs of technical improvement. Sector valuation strategy, blend exposure to high growth sector like information technology 59.9 times with value oriented sector like financial 21.2 times PE. To balance growth potential with margin of safety, monitor sector rotation signal for optimal entry exit timing. Liquidity management, high turnover stocks like those trading over 17.477 trillion offer excellent liquidity for large positioning, but can also signal potential volatility inflection points. Use elevated volumes as both an entry exit indicator and a volatility warning signals. Now we can see the macro indicators. Federal fund rate as per July 1, 2026, 3.63%. CPI index as per July 1, 2026, 332.81. Core CPI 336.79 as on July 2026. Unemployment rate 4.10% as on July 1, 2026 report, and real gross domestic product, that is GDP, 24,270.60. 10-year treasury yield 4.63% as on August 13, 2026. Producer price index PPI 284.06 as per July 2026. This is all about this week. Those who have already subscribed my channel, thank you very much. And those who are not yet subscribed, please subscribe my channel to be up to date, to get latest news and update regarding S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. Happy weekend. See you next. Thank you. Bye for now.